What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Lockport. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, I made my way out here this morning thinking that I want to do some catfish fishing using some heavy weights and some big circle hooks, get them out there, see if I can get on a big catfish. But I did unfortunately leave the baits I was intending to throw out there, some goldeye. I left that at home, and for that reason I'm thinking of maybe throwing around some lures, some small night crawlers that I have with me to see if maybe I can get on some different fish, some goldeye or something that I can catch from the river and maybe use that as bait for catfish. So even though it's not the plan for today, I'm going to get some baits out there and see if we get on some fish. Now before we get to the fishing, I just also would like to point out that there is no longer a closed season here at Lockport for the walleye or the sauger, but I'm not planning on keeping any fish today, so if we do catch anything like that, I will release them. But there is, however, a closed season for lake sturgeon all the way until June, so I'm not going to target any sturgeon or anything. Alright, so a bit of a mistake on my part, but let's get to the fishing. Alright, we have a fish on, not quite sure what yet. He's putting up a decent fight on this light setup. Just using a jig head night crawler. Just want to get my net ready. And we have a channel catfish. Decent sized one. There should be some bigger ones out there. But I'm happy to get on a fish at least. There we go, fish in the net. Lovely big fat channel catfish. On the little jig head night crawler. Now I did bring my carp mat out here with me today and a little ruler. Let's quickly get a measurement on this fish. Got my little jig head out of it, but there's someone else's line as well. Big old circle hook that broke off in him. Just give him some oxygen again. Decent catfish to start off the day. That is a 30-inch catfish. Good catfish on a little jig head night crawler, little 30-inch channel catfish. Let's get him back to the water. Good catch, and off he goes. So I'm throwing night crawlers, hoping for any types of fish, goldeye or anything. Of course, channel catfish will also go for some night crawlers. Alright, so after throwing around a bunch of lures and baits for a while, trying to find some bulleye, was not successful in getting any. And my plan for today was going to be using some big circle hooks and stuff, get that out there, see if I can get on some catfish. But I'm going to scrap that idea. I'm rather going to go over for a little rig like this where I have 2 hooks. I'm going to be putting on some night crawlers, hoping to maybe get still some goldeye or some red horse or even some of the channel catfish. And I have a few frozen bait fish I'm going to put out there, see if maybe something's willing to go for that. I'm just going to cast these baits out there, wait for anything to bite on them. Alright, we got a hit. But we're also snagged. We lost our entire rig out there, even though we got the fish on there. He swam into some cover or something. This is why you use barbless hooks, so that hook will come out pretty easy, no harm to the fish. Unfortunately, it is a lost rig, something that's going to be in the water now forever. But that's the problem with an area like this. Lots of snags in the water. But I'm just going to retie, get some baits out there again. Finally have something on again. It seems like every cast I've made thus far, I've lost the rig. This is actually the first time in a long while I can retrieve a little rig, and we have a tiny channel catfish. Lot smaller than a little 30-inch one in the beginning, but lovely little channel cat. Get him back to the water. Off he goes. Alright, ladies and gents, I've now lost quite a large amount of lead weights and hooks, throwing them out there and having them washed down and getting stuck and snagged on the rocks. Now this happens whether I throw a big 4-ounce lead weight or tiny little 1-ounce weights. They all tend to wash down and get stuck. And this little back eddy we have going back is quite strong current, so even a 4-ounce lead weight will wash down. Having to tie a new rig the entire time is not fun, not enjoying that. So I'm rather going to swap back to a little jig head night haulers, throw that around, see if we get anything else.
One eternity later.
Alright, ladies and gents, it's been a couple of frustrating hours out there. I had some good luck early this morning, but the last couple of hours I've been struggling quite a lot. It seems like every single cast I make, my entire rig breaks off or gets stuck somewhere and I have to break it off. Now the problem is I'm seeing quite a lot of fish jumping, and the people next to me are catching quite a lot of fish, and that kind of gets you in the mood to continue trying. I've even had a look at the rigs they're using, building the same type of rigs. For some reason I keep breaking off, and I've lost quite a lot of lead weights and some hooks out there today. In fact, I lost so many that I actually cannot continue fishing because I don't have anything to throw out there anymore. Maybe if you can go down in the comments and tell me what type of rig am I supposed to be using out there. So any hints or tips you can give me would be quite helpful. But all in all, I still had fun out there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a little thumbs up at least. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, joining my community. Alright, but that's going to be the end of this one. Thank you for watching. Like always, see you next time.